Hello guys again. So okay, so day 166. I think we will try. Okay, so today we'll try to keep it under 1 hour.
Good evening, ladies.
Or we'll finish in an hour because I have a lesson at 7 o'clock. So try to watch this. Okay, let's try to watch this in an hour and that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Genki 2 lesson 16 lesson here on Tokini Andy. Today we are going to be covering doing things for others. Very polite requests in Japanese, expressing hopes and wishes in Japanese, describing when things happen in Japanese, and apologizing for specific actions. That's what we're covering today. While I greet everyone here, you can have a look at our color coding system. So how is everyone doing today? Before we get started, if you'd like to help support Tokini Andy channel, we have a Patreon. On the Patreon, we have textbook practice videos where Yuki and I go through the textbook practice with you and we give you the correct answers, where your partners for the exercises that need partners, etc. We also have listening and shadowing videos where you can get listening practice and speaking practice by shadowing along with us. It's also reading practice, actually. Listening and shadowing and reading practice is what those videos should be called. There's also vocabulary videos where we go over all the vocabulary from Genki and you get to shadow and copy Yuki's native pronunciation. And there's lots of other cool things too, like tests for all of Genki 1 and eventually all of Genki 2. That's on the Patreon. There's also a merch store. But if you don't want to spend any money, that's perfectly okay. Just hitting the like button, or sharing this video, or just hanging out and doing your best and trying to learn Japanese along with us is more than enough in my eyes. So thank you for being here tonight, guys. The very first section is gonna just jump right into it, guys. Like we're not taking it easy on you and giving you an easy section first. The very first section is gonna blow minds. It's not gonna be that bad. If you did okay on lesson 13, remember morao, kureru, ageru. If you did okay on that, you should be fine on this. This is actually a little bit easier, I think. But we're gonna see some of the same stuff. So this should be fun. Doing for others in Japanese. So doing things for others, like doing activities for others, we covered ageru, kureru, and morao, and that's when you give things to people or receive things from people. But you can actually use ageru, kureru, and morao when you do things for other people or when they do things for you. And it's very, very similar in usage to kureru, ageru.
Okay, so someone does for someone else, te form plus ageru. I do something for someone or someone does something for someone else. Okay. I do something for someone. I do something for someone or someone does something for someone else.
And morale on their own. You just attach them to the te form of whatever verb that you did for the person or that they did for you. So when someone does something for someone else, like someone unrelated to you, just two random people are doing things for each other, you use te ageru. When you do something for someone else, you always use te ageru. If you're doing it for someone, it will 100% be te ageru. When someone does
te ageru. Ageru. Okay.
Does something for me, it's te kureru.
Someone does something for me, it's te kureru. Someone does something for me. Te form plus verb plus kureru. Kureru. Okay.
Now here's where the big difference is between ageru, kureru, morao, and te ageru, te kureru, and te morao. For just kureru and morao on their own, they're very similar, right? The grammatical construction of the sentence is a little bit different, but the meaning is almost identical when you're just talking about things. But when we're doing the te form of this, te morao has more of a sense of you got someone to do something for you. So you asked them to do something for you and they did it, or you literally made them do something. And that's not it's 99% of the time it's that. It can also just be that you gain some sort of benefit from the thing they did for you, or for the thing they did for you. So you might not have necessarily made them do it, but you gain some kind of significant benefit from them doing it for you. So then you could use te morao. So that's the main difference. It's not the same as just someone did something for me with te kureru. It's you got someone to do something for you. So I know that's a lot of information. So remember this monstrosity? Well, we're going to be looking at that again today in simplified form, of course. So over here is you. Today it's going to be me. Just I'll be the stand-in for you today. And we're going to start with te ageru. So te ageru is I do something for someone. So I'm going outwards. I do something for random person A, or I do something for my friend or relative, or also close friends or relatives do things for other people, or random people do things for each other, right? It can never come this way. Ageru can never come back to you. And ageru can never come back to someone who's really close to you. This is mostly, let me just let you know, guys know here, that this is mostly close relatives, immediate family. Like this red circle should really be immediate family, but if you have like really close friends, like maybe your best friend in the world who's like family to you, they might fit in this little red circle too. So anyway, ageru can never be coming this way, from outside, people outside of your inner circle in. Ageru can't be used that way. Ageru is always moving out from you or between random people. So let's look at some examples so that this makes a little bit more sense. So tsukutte ageru. I'll make it for you. Tsukutte ageru. Or I will make it for you. Don't know what it is, doesn't matter. Tsukutte ageru, just the te form plus ageru. Now remember, ageru is conjugated like an, ichidan or iru eru verb. So kattaru add ta. Tomodachi ni tsukutte ageta. I made it for my friend. So we're going upwards in complexity here. Tomodachi ni ohiru wo tsukutte agemashita. So the person that you did something for, or someone else did something for, is marked by ni. So implied here is watashi wa. Watashi wa tomodachi ni ohiru wo tsukutte agemashita. So you see this o here, right? It's just marked by whatever this particle is, whatever this verb would normally take. Tsukuru, the thing you made is always marked by the o particle.
Let's study it.
It doesn't.
Yes, this is the one you talked about yesterday. Ageru kureru. So ageru is to give someone, but te ageru is you have to what I wrote here. You have to do something for someone. You do something. This one, I have forgotten what's the use of it yesterday, but now I remember. So te ageru and te kureru and te morao. It's very confusing. Te morao is very confusing.
Change when you're using te ageru. It stays
the problem
same,
is that English is not my native, me either, and sometimes it's hard to study from it. That's one difficult thing as well. What can we do? Japanese has a lot of English resources. You don't have. I don't think in my native language there is not many resources.
Ohiru wo
Exactly.
tsukuru.
We have to push through though. We have to push through.
Or ohiru wo tsukutte agemashita. It's the same. But the person you made it for is marked by ni. And the person who did the doing of the action, wow, this is hard to say, is marked by wa or ga. Watashi wa tomodachi ni ohiru wo tsukutte agemashita. Made for them. So you notice here that this is
for ni, for my friend. Tomodachi ni, for my friend. Ohiru wo, lunch, I made. Tsukutte agemashita. Okay, I did something for my friend. Pretentious, how is it going? Can't chat much today, but I hope the studying is going very well. Yuki also, everyone came. So yeah, take care, pretentious. The study is going amazing.
Doing things
Thank
for
you very
him.
much
I made
for
it
coming
for
by.
them. For their sake. Okay, so now let's move on to tekureru.
Tekureru, te ageru.
Tekureru is the exact opposite of ageru in
But
the sense that it's always coming.
Today I will try to keep it for 1 hour because I have lesson at 7 o'clock at 19. So Vic Ibanez also came. Hello, how is it going? Everyone is here. But yeah, I will try to keep it for 1 hour because I have a lesson, or 1.5 hours. It depends. We finish this video and we wrap it up. It's because I have lesson later. So okay, we try to do as quick as possible this video.
In. So from friends and relatives to me, or from random people to me. And you can use it if
So tekureru is someone does something for me. Tekureru, someone does something for me. Okay.
it's someone, once again, in your very tight inner circle. Close family, as in immediate family, right? Your parents, or your brothers and sisters. And super close friends. Not just any friends. Super
This is
close
a really
friends. People who
important
you're
part
really,
of
really close
Japanese.
to.
Yeah, we were saying the same with Covello. It's very confusing, this one. You're good to see tons of stuff using conjugation. You're going to see tons of stuff using this conjugation. Well, it's confusing. It's confusing, but today is a very important lesson indeed.
You can take their viewpoint in some sense. So you can say kureru, te kureru. But for the most part, to stay safe, try and only use kureru, te kureru when it's coming to you. So when someone does something for you. For example, tsukutte kureru? A very casual question here. Tsukutte kureru? Will you make?
Today I'm not going to understand a thing, but it's okay. Ganbatte. So it's te kureru, te form, if you know te form, and ageru kureru. We did ageru kureru, I think, yesterday.
Make it for me? You can use this with
have a book with a really good chat about it. I should try to join your... Yes, of course. Of course, that would be amazing.
Family,
anything you send will help.
Your significant other or something. That's what kind of sentence this is. I wouldn't use this with random people out on the street.
I really look forward when I see people sending stuff. Yuki the other day sent us a very useful conjugation Excel, and it was very, very helpful. I'm going to study it later for sure.
Nani yatte kureru? But tsukutte kureru is very good for people who are close to you. Tsukutte kureru. Going upwards in complexity. Tomodachi ga tsukutte kureta. Kureru is also an irueru verb, an ichidan verb, so you just cut the ru and add ta to make it past tense. My friend made it for me. So here watashi wa, watashi ni is always implied with kureru. In fact, kureru on its own generally means for me. So you almost never have watashi ni in a kureru sentence. If you wanted to do the full sentence though, it would be tomodachi ga watashi ni tsukutte kureta. But because you're using kureta, it's implied that it's me. So most people never say watashi ni tsukutte kureta because who else would they be doing that for? Okay, so tomodachi ga tsukutte kureta. So that's from here, maybe tomodachi ga, they made it, te kureta. What did they make for me? Tomodachi ga ohiru wo tsukutte kuremashita. Same with kuremashita. Whatever the verb is, particles work the same way as they would in normal sentences with it. My friend made lunch for me. Next is morao. Morao, the rules for morao are exactly the same. Te morao are the same as they are for regular morao. You can't do it between random strangers. It's from random person to your immediate inner circle or from other people into you. Te morao. And that generally means that you get someone to do something for you. So, tsukutte morao. Have them make it for me. Tsukutte morao. Or I'm gonna have them make it for me. Would be another way you could translate that. Tomodachi ni tsukutte moratta. So the person who did the thing for you now is marked by ni. Unlike kureru, te kureru. Te kureru, you're marked by ni and usually dropped. With morao, you're marked by wa or ga. And the person who's doing the thing for you is marked by ni. So tomodachi ni tsukutte moratta. I had my friend make it for me. I had my friend make it for me. So I had for me is all encompassed in morao. Watashi wa tomodachi ni お昼を作ってもらいたい. So once again, もらう is not an ichidan verb, it's a godan verb, so you move up on the chart. U verbs, past tense is small to ta, もらった, te もらった, right? And te, もらいたい. So want to have my friend make lunch for me. I want to have my friend make lunch for me. So you can use it that way as well. 私は友達にお昼を作ってもらいたい. I want to have my friend make lunch for me. So let's take a look at what this would look like.
私は the I gets the wa, I get the wa always. 友達に my friend お昼を lunch お昼を作ってもらいたい。作って to make 作って to make. I want to have もらいたい。I want to have make lunch my friend for me. I want to have my friend make lunch for me. So I get wa, I get the wa. 友達 get the ni. And もらいたい I want to have him make the lunch for
作っ
me.
てもらいたい. I want to have my friend make lunch for me.
Okay.
So let's take a look at what this would look like the same kind of sentence in different formats with
僕を
ageru, kureru, and もらう. Look at that. Beast. 僕はユキにお茶を買ってあげた. I bought tea for Yuki. 買ってあげた. So Yuki's marked with ni, I'm marked by wa, right? ユキは僕にお茶を買ってくれた. See, it's just the reverse direction. Yuki bought tea for me. ユキは僕にお茶を買ってくれた. You cannot use あげる in this situation. You cannot say ユキは僕にお茶を買ってあげた. You can't say that.
Yeah, because あげる手あげる I make. So 僕はユキにお茶を買ってあげた. I bought tea for Yuki. Yuki は僕に to me, for me お茶を買ってくれた. Yuki bought tea for me. Yuki は the topic. 僕に for me お茶を買ってくれた. Okay.
You can see here is always going out and kureru is always going in. So you also couldn't.
So あげる goes out from me. くれる comes to me. Okay. So 僕にくれる and when we say 僕は it's あげる
say 僕はユキにお茶を買ってくれた. Cannot say that. Kureru is coming in, not going out. Right. 僕はユキにお茶を買ってもらった. I got Yuki to buy tea for me, or I had Yuki buy tea for me. By the way, you could also not say ユキは僕にお茶を買ってもらった. Nope.
So morale, the confusing part is that morale, the I get the wa, I get the wa, boku get the wa, and but Yuki ni makes the tea for me. I had Yuki make the tea for me. That's the confusing part.
Not say ユキは僕にお茶を買ってもらった. Nope.
Wait,
say
what?
ユキは僕にお茶を買ってもらった. Nope. 僕はユキを仕事に連れて行ってあげた. Here we go. 僕はユキを仕事に連れて行ってあげた. 連れて行く is the verb for to bring someone somewhere. The reason this sentence is here is because so the person and the noun take the same exact particles that they would take in regular sentences based on the verb that is being used. So 連れて行く, the person you're bringing always takes を and the place you're taking them takes ni. That's exactly the same for a te ageru sentence. So 僕はユキを仕事に連れて行ってあげた. I brought Yuki to work as a favor. That's what that ageru implies. She couldn't do it herself, so I did it for her as a favor, is what this
morale
ageru
is to receive something, but in a way they show care for you. No, morale is to receive, but here we're doing te morale. No. Morale is to receive, but morale on its own is to receive. We did it yesterday. Now we are doing te form. Te form, where is it? Te form verb plus morale, which means get someone to do for me. So I have someone do something for me. Te morale. It's not morale on its own. Morale if morale wasn't on its own, it will be to receive. Yes, we did it yesterday on, I think yesterday or the day before that. Yeah, this one, lesson 15. Could you tell me what is the point of te form? Imagine I'm I'm your grandma. That's hard. It's hard to explain now. I'm not good at explaining yet, but te form, I think we wrote it here. I'll tell you. I'll tell you like I wrote it on my notebook. Okay, te form is to make requests. It's to make requests. Okay, so please do something. Please do something. When you verb or giving or asking for permission. May I do something? May I do something? Stating that something is forbidden. Okay, so yeah, each use has many uses. Te form has many uses. Also, stating that something is forbidden, but also what was I want to say something. Command, saying command is like ing, and also like ing in English. Yes, it has many uses. It has many uses. Also, command, do something, or making request, like different uses. Different uses depends on the grammar point you're going to study, depending on the conjugation you want. Yamete, I think. What is yamete? I've never seen yamete. But it's ing, it's also ings, it's many uses. It has many uses, te form. There is no one single use. Like, it's a conjugation and it's used with different grammar points. Yamete means stop it. Okay, yamete. Yamete, yes. Yamer, I think it's yameru, the verb. And it's conjugated to te form, which means stop it. If you put teiru, for example, if you put yame teiru, te form plus iru, it will become stopping. If you put yame te oku, te form plus oku, it will become you are stopping it. Yeah, you are stopping it. If you put te oku, yame te oku, it will be stop it in preparation for something for the future. If you put yamete aru, means stopped, passive voice. If you put yamete iku, it means I will stop, I'm going to stop, or something. Yeah, something like that. I don't know if you can put yamete iku, and there is also yamete kuru. So te form has many uses. You put something else next to te form, and some new form is new conjugation is formed, new word is formed. So there are different. There is no one single form, one single use.
It implies she couldn't do it herself, so I did it for her as a favor. Is what this ageru implies.
If I remember correctly, when I saw Inanki in G-Lab, okay, there is te oku, te form plus oku, te form plus kuru, te form plus iku, te form plus iru, which means ing, like Yuki said above, and te form on its own. So we only five. We have 5 uses only from G-Lab, but also there are te form plus other things, plus to stop or something. Te moides, which means giving and asking for permission. Te moides. You add moides and it becomes asking for permission. Making request, te kudasai. If you add kudasai with te form, it becomes making request, please. If you add ikemasen, you must not do. Te form plus ikemasen, you must not do. So basically, if I would explain it to a grandmother, so if Sensei Vicky Banes is a grandmother, I would say that te form is a conjugation, one conjugation, okay? If you add something else to it, depending on what you want, and like different stuff, you could add kudasai, moides, ikemasen, oku, iru, aru, iku, kuru. Anything you add, it becomes something else, some new form, new sentence, new word or something. But te form is just a conjugation. There is no, if you are asking about only te form, it's just a conjugation. But if you add something else next to it, it becomes a new sentence, a new word.
Yuki
Here we have te form plus ageru, kureru, and morau. So te form plus ageru, kureru, and morau, which means like these are three different things from the ones I mentioned before. Like to make request, it's not making request or asking permission. It's when you add ageru and kureru, te form, okay, the conjugation, it becomes someone does something for someone else, or I do something for someone else. Te form plus ageru. If you add kureru, te form plus kureru, it becomes someone does something for me. If you add te form, okay, plus morau, it becomes get someone to do for me, something for me. Oh yeah, something. Thank you, Grasa. I will give you some coins for you to buy some sweet. So yeah, I think this is not, I think now I understand sweets. I think now I understand what te form is. So te form is just a conjugation, okay? And there is a song. There is a song for the te form. I will show you the song.
Name this one.
A song you will like a lot.
Hello and welcome to
Te form, okay, where is the te form? Ongoing te form. Utsuru te. Yeah, if it works. So yeah.
All right. So, because we did this exact same thing before in course 2, and you should know it. All right. And it's actually this.
Okay.
But let's do the full song right now.
The song. Utsurute, bumununde, kuite, uide, sushite are the te and ta forms.
Now the only difference is
Utsurute, bumununde, kuite, guide, sushite are the te and ta forms. So these are the conjugations. Any verb that ends in u, tsuru, it's chisai tsu te. Any verb that ends in bu, mu, nu, it's nde, the conjugation. Ku, it ends in ite, or iku, which is iku, it becomes chisai tsu te, which is irregular, or in this case it's irregular. Gu, it's ide, and tsu is shite. If you remember these conjugations, that's it for te form. You are done for te form. But then te form, you must learn how to add other things to the te form. So te form on its own is just a conjugation. Te form on its own is just a conjugation. You learn it, you learn these conjugations, and then you use it with something else. So we learned a lot of things with te form. Now we are learning te form with ageru, with kureru, and with morau. So yeah, that's the whole te form is what te form is. Now you are motivating me to make a video about te form, because now I feel that I understand te form even better.
Now, this sentence is a little interesting, and there's a reason for this. So you look at here, right? Tsurete iku. The person who you're doing the thing.
僕はユキを仕事に連れて 連れて行ってあげた.
4 takes
Kini Andy has another T-form song. Yeah, the one I sent. The one I sent. But my favorite one is this one. 移ってブーム飲んで
the o particle because you're taking them somewhere. You're doing this thing to them, right? Well, the verb 料理する and stuff like 掃除する, they don't take people, right? A person does that thing. So you could, for example, make a thing. 料理する is basically on its own. Most する verbs are on their own. So in that situation, right, how do you say that you did that thing for someone? Because they don't take a particle. You would use のために. Tame is for someone's sake, basically. So 僕のために for my sake, she cooked. くれた and くれる can also have the feeling of just kindly. She was kind enough to do it for me. Because you could totally just say ユキが僕のために料理をした. That would be fine. Because you could totally just say ユキが僕
Tame means kindly.
sake, she cooked. のた
This is the other song, yes. This is another song.
移る
移るってブーンで吹いてぐいでつしてつしてするしてくるきってT-form. Which is, by the way, it's the same as Mr. Georgie says. It's T-form is exactly the same as ta form, which is past tense. If you know the te form, if you know this song, it's exactly the same as ta. You just add te, instead of te, you add ta. So itta, nda, ita or itta, ida, and shita. So exactly the same, Best sound, zero cringy.
青あって松まって
松まって
ふるって飲む飲んで飛ぶ飛んで死ぬ死んで書く書いて泳ぐ泳いで話す話して
Yeah, that's it. That's the T form. That's the melody from You Are My Sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Yeah, this is T form. That's the T form. You learn it, you learn the T form, and then use it with something else. Memorize this song to remember in my darkest moments. It's the T form, the conjugation is easy, but the problem is you have to remember all of the uses. So you use it with something else to say different stuff. To request, to order, to have someone do something for you, to do something for someone else. Different uses. A lot of uses. T form has a lot of uses. But if you remember now, just remember the conjugations, the song, and that's it. And later start slowly to learn the other things. So, nomu nonde kudasai, please drink.
ために
Or nonde ikemasen, don't drink. You must not drink. Or nonde temoi desu, can I drink? Can I drink? Nonde temoi desu, can I drink? And so on.
Tame is for someone's sake, basically. So 僕のために for my sake, she cooked. くれた and くれる can also have the feeling of just kindly. She was kind enough to do it for me. Because you could totally just say ユキが僕のために料理をした. That would be fine. But してくれた is actually more common when people do some things for you.
Kindly,
It's a much nicer way to say that someone did something for you than just flatly stating the fact that they did it. To add that sort of, and that was very nice of her, sense to the sentence, you need くれた. So ユキが僕のために料理してくれた. Let's go ahead and jump into the dialogue. I'll read it slowly one time and then at full speed. Go over the English translation and get into your comments. Look at all that green.
I
Let's go ahead
think
and jump
I
back to
understand.
ねえ、ちょっと手伝ってくれない？いいよ。
いいよ。
台風が来る。
ね、ちょっと手伝ってくれない？ね。Okay, so again, so くれない is someone does something for me. Can you help me a little bit? Can you help me a bit? Do you know what the Japanese mean when they write about TKG? No idea. TKG. I have no idea. Enlighten me. Wait, is it food? Is it food? Tamago. Tamago, egg. Tamago ka ke gohan. Tamago ka ke gohan. So it's food. Ah, it's the acronym for tamago ke gohan. Ah, okay. It's egg. Rice on egg. Wait, the egg is not cooked again. Why they don't like to cook their food? Wait, is it cooked or not, the egg? Tamago kake gohan. Tamago kake. I eat that yesterday. So this one, egg on rice. Egg on rice. Tamago kake. It is cooked, but not hard boiled. Okay. Okay, sounds nice. So egg and egg on rice. Egg on rice. Egg on rice. Sounds interesting. I'll try it. So acronym. So tamago. It's like the slang we saw yesterday, the other day. The slang with the short. Okay. Tamago ke gohan. So they use English a lot. They use English a lot.
いいよ。台風
Wait, ちょっと手伝ってくれない? Can you help me a bit? Can you help me a little bit?
が来る前、新しいチラシがいるから、社長から印刷会社に電話してもらいたい。
Yeah, I don't know a lot of things in here. 台風、what's 台風が来る前、新しいチランがいるから、社長から、from company president, something に電話してもらいたい。I want to call the president or whatever.
わかった。話してあげるね。ありがとう。あと、これに社長にサインしてもらいたい。それも頼んでくれる？いいよ。
いいよ。
Full speed。ねえ、ちょっと手伝ってくれない？いいよ。台風が来る前、新しいチラシがいるから、社長から印刷会社に電話してもらいたい。わかった。話してあげるね。ありがとう。あと、これに社長にサインしてもらいたい。それも頼んでくれる？いいよ。ねえ、ちょっと手伝ってくれない？ Hey, would you help me a little bit? This te kurenai is going to be showing up at the end of the lesson, the very last section. So if you want to learn more about that, stick around. But it's basically negating te kureru. And it implies like, wouldn't you help me? Would you help me? It's a slightly polite way to ask someone to request something from someone. But we'll get to that. Te kurenai. Iyo, sure. Okay, this is a long sentence, so let's break it down. 台風が来る前 Before mine, the typhoon comes. Before the typhoon comes. So this is the time frame. 新しいチラシがいるから。We need new pamphlets. We need the new pamphlet in this case. The new pamphlet. チラシ is like a pamphlet. Well, it is a pamphlet. チラシ, that's why it's in light blue. This is not in Genki. So these are both extra vocabulary. 新しい new チラシがいる。
チラシがいる。
This is the to need いる。から社長から印刷会社に電話してもらいたい。してもらいたい。want to have 社長 the company president から from him. So we use this is the from a person から. So from when you have someone call someone else, the person who's getting the call gets a call from, in this case, 社長. It was a weird way to explain it, but hope that made sense. 印刷会社 is what you call a printing company. I needed to add this to make this whole story make sense. So 印刷会社. 会社 is the word for company. 印刷 is the name for printing. Put them together. 印刷会社. Often when combined with another word, especially if it ends in su or su, maybe. Su and some other characters, it becomes 会社に電話してもらいたい。電話する takes
So I want you to
the place you're calling,
I want
right?
to have the company
Okay, that was a mouthful.
president
わかった。話し
I want the company president to call the printing company. 社長から印刷会社に電話してもらいたい。Okay, I want to have the company president to call the printing company. Okay.
てあげるね。Understood.
わかった。
I'll call him for you,
話
okay?
してあげるね。
話してあげる。I'll talk to him for you, okay? ありがとう。Thanks. あと、also, これに社長にサインしてもらいたい。So there's two needs there, but they're different. They're performing different actions. So これに means we've got a piece of paper. これに So in the direction of this paper, this is where we want the thing, which is サインする done. Do it here. これにサインする。
これに
Okay, so
サ
that's
イン
what,
す
where
る。
that ni applies to. 社長に So we've got ni again, and that's because of the morao. So morao needs to take ni. The person who is being marked by morao needs to take ni. So you got two ni's. これに社長にサインしてもらいたい。I want to have 社長 sign this thing. それも that too. 頼んでくれる。頼む by the way is to ask someone to do something. 頼む. I think that actually is a vocabulary that comes later in maybe chapter 18, so you might not have covered it yet, but that's what it means. 頼む means to have someone do something for you, ask someone to do
頼ん
something.
でくれる。
頼んでくれる Will you ask him to do that for me? Good. いいよ sure. Okay, so that was a heavy section. There might be a lot of questions.
So, yeah, てあげる、てくれる、てもらう。I think I understand a little bit. So, てあげる means てあげる。I get the wa. The person I'm doing something for gets the ni. And the verb, of course, gets the o. And ageru. So I do something for someone, or someone does something for someone else. And we have te kureru, which means someone does something for me. So I get the ni, watashi ni, and someone gets the wa or ga. And of course, verb gets o, and kureru. And also we have te form plus morao, which means I get someone to do something for me. So I get the wa in this case. It's the opposite of the te kureru. In te kureru, I get the ni. But in te morao, I get the wa. I get someone, ni, to do something. A verb gets o and morao. Okay, I understand now. It's more clear now. But of course, I need to practice. I need some drills to do.
Question for this section
Need to
is,
see more examples,
what
basically.
is something you did for someone recently? In my example, maybe I would say 友達に日本語を教えてあげた.
教えてあげた.
I taught Japanese to my friend. And by friends, I mean all of you. Thank you for being here, guys. It's great to have you here.
What is something you did for someone recently? Sensei Vic ni Nihongo o oshiete ageta. Oshiete ageta.
Here. Very polite request.
Te form o oshiete ageta.
Lesson 16 covers 3 different types of very polite requests. You guys will remember that the most common request is te kudasai. You've already learned that in Genki 1. Te kudasai. So te form plus kudasai. So for example...
These ones, for example, Sensei Vic, if you are listening, te form plus other things. Te form, we saw te form plus ageru plus kureru plus morao. Here we have te form plus itadakemasen ka, te form plus kuremasen ka, te form plus kurenai. So three more uses of te form.
Tabete kudasai. Eat, please. Right? But there are more polite ways to make requests. For example, if you were making a request of your boss, and this is the main request in this section, you would say something like te itadakemasen ka? This is a very polite form of requests. You might use this with your boss or with a professor or something like that. Itadakemasen ka? Let's explain where that comes from. So, itadakemasen ka is it's the polite potential, so can do, polite potential of the verb and negative. Polite potential negative of itadaku, which means to receive something. It's a polite verb that means to receive. So itadaku, to receive something. You know itadakimasu? Well, itadakimasu is the polite conjugation of itadaku, and it means I receive this. Itadakimasu. If you don't know that yet, I imagine you all do, but that's what people say before they eat in Japan.
Okay.
Every time before they eat. Itadakimasu. So itadaku is to receive. The potential form of can receive is itadakeru. So itadaku, you move down to the A column. So itadakeru. Itadakeru. That's the potential form, right? And then the negative of that is itadakemasen ka? Would it be possible for me to receive this action from you? Is what that all comes down to. Te form itadakemasen ka? You don't have to remember all of that, but that's where it comes from. Te form itadakemasen ka? Slightly less polite, but still very polite. I'd say this is Genki claims that this is exact same politeness level as te kudasai. I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Te kuremasen ka? Te kudasai it's polite, but it's a direct request. It's asking someone to do something directly. Te kuremasen ka is less direct. It's would you be able to do it, or wouldn't you be able to do this for me? But that sounds really sort of presumptive in English, but it's not in Japanese. Like, it gives someone an out, a heavy out. Saying te kudasai, there's no out to it. You want someone to do it. But kuremasen ka wouldn't that be possible? In English, it doesn't sound like there's an out. It sounds like you're being presumptive. But in Japanese, it sort of gives them an out. They could say, no, I can't with this one. So I feel like te kuremasen ka is a little bit more polite than te kudasai. Then there's te kurenai, which is below kudasai, but it's something you use this with friends and family all the time. Just, wouldn't you do that for me? Or won't you make that for me? Tsukute kurenai? Won't you make that for me? And it's very low on the politeness level. Very casual. Very casual. Use it only with friends or relatives. So let's go look at some examples.
By negating it is less direct. Yes. When you add negation, the kurenai, it becomes less direct. Or yeah, itadakemasen ka. You add negation, it becomes less direct. Okay. In a lot of times they add negations. So when you add more negation, it becomes more respectful or more polite, I think.
Very casual. Use it only with
But
friends.
basically, yeah, it's less direct, makes it less direct.
Friends or relatives. So let's go look at some examples. 直していただけませんか?
直していただけません
So
か?
I made the English super polite too. It would not be at all possible to have you fix this, would it? That's how you can think of いただけませんか. It would not be at all possible to have you fix this, would it? 直してくれませんか? You wouldn't be able to fix this for me, would you? So that would you at the end is what I was
直して
looking
くれ
for.
ませんか?
You wouldn't be able to fix this for me, would you? 直す is to fix something. 直してくれない. Wouldn't you fix this for me? Would you fix this for me? That's that. There it is. Would you fix this for me? Is sort of the level of politeness. It's probably even a little less polite than that. But anyway, 直してくれない.
直
Very
してくれ
common
な
among
い
friends. Some more complicated sentences we have このメールを訳していただけませんか?
訳していただけません
So
か?
訳す is to translate. 訳していただけませんか? What do I want them to translate? This メール. So it would not
この
be
メール
at all possible to have you translate this message, would it? If you were translating this into, like, in an actual book or in an actual document, you would not put this entire sentence. I just want to point that out. I'm just making this entire super long sentence to sort of try and portray how serious this level of politeness is. 仕事に連れて行ってくれませんか? You wouldn't be able to take me to work, would you? So this is just like our earlier, 連れて行く, remember? 連れて行ってくれませんか? And I didn't explain before that てくれませんか that comes from てくれる. That's where we're conjugating that from. Sorry, I'm off center here. Where do I want them to take me? Work. わからない。説明してくれない? I don't get it. Would you explain it to me? わからない。説明してくれない。
説明してくれない。
So it's very casual. Would you explain it to me?
So,
Alright, so
basically, くれない and くれません is the same, but the one is with mass form and the one is in short form. Okay.
I will
of
go.
course, the ません is the くれませんか is
Let's go into the dialogue. I'll read it slowly one time, then at full speed. Then we'll go over the English translation. We'll bring up the question for this section, and I'll get to your questions in chat. すみません。
すみません。
社長。
社長。
はい。
はい
入って。
入って。
失礼します。
失礼します。
社長。
社長。
印刷会社に電話していただけませんか？あ、いいよ。
いいよ。
もう新しいチラシがいるね。そうです。
そうです。
よろしくお願いします。あと、すみませんが、これにサインしていただけませんか？はい。わかりました。フォースピード。すみません、社長。はい、入って。失礼します。社長、印刷会社に電話していただけませんか？あ、いいよ。もう新しいチラシがいるね。そうです。よろしくお願いします。あと、すみませんが、これにサインしていただけませんか？はい、わかりました。Alright, let's go into the English translation. Beginning's quite easy. すみません。Excuse me. 社長。Mr. President. はい。入って。This is a command, basically. It's a request, but without kudasai, it's very straight. Come in. はい。入って。失礼します。
失礼します。
I will be rude is the literal translation of this. I will be rude. But it's a set phrase. And it's what you use when you are, well, there's a few things. When you're hanging up the phone, 失礼します. You're going to hear, if you call a company to have them do something for you, when they hang up the phone or when they're about to hang up the phone, they'll say, 失礼いたします, and they hang up. When you're going into an office in a company that you don't work at, you'll enter the office with 失礼します. When students enter the teacher's room, they always enter with 失礼します. And when they leave the office, they use the past tense. 失礼しました. That's how that's used. 社長, so I'm going into the room. 失礼します. That means I'm coming in. In someone's house, you would say お邪魔します. That's what you say before you go in someone's house. But when you're going into someone's office, you could also say お邪魔します. You could say that. But 失礼します is more common. 社長、印刷会社に電話していただけませんか? Would it be at all possible for you to call the 印刷会社 for me? I will be rude. Mr. President, would you be able to call the printing company for me? Sure, man. あ、いいよ. Sure thing. もう新しいチラシがいるね。We already need the new pamphlets, eh? We already need new pamphlets, eh? そうです。That's exactly right. よろしくお願いします。I think you guys know that one already. あと、also. すみませんが、I'm really sorry, but これにサインしていただけませんか? Would it be at all possible for you to sign this for me? Exactly, yes, please. Also, I'm really sorry, but would you be able to sign this for me? すみませんが, that's I'm really sorry, but はい、わかりました. Yep, understood. All right, so the question for this section is ask me to do something using any of the politeness levels above, any of them. いただけませんか? くれませんか? くれない. Any of them. It's up to you. You could do them all if you want, whatever. My example would be 日本語教えてくれない.
166 days, of course. We just keep going. And also, you almost close a month in 3-4 days. So yeah, 160 days, 66 days, and we just keep going. We almost done with the Genki also. So 1 week, one more week. Next week, over. Genki over. Bye-bye.
Right. This is a fun section. This is
Thanks
a fun
for all the motivation, of course. And every day we feel more motivated than the day before. So we just keep going. We just keep going. Also, thank you, also Benzerka, for staying. You were with me since day 38 or something.
Section because I really liked using this. I found it really
we just
useful,
keep going, never stop.
And I got to use it a lot with people I was talking to in the beginning. I think it's a very important section. So let's jump into expressing hopes and wishes in Japanese. When you want to express that you hope that something happens for
Genki, so we have how to say I hope and I wish in Japanese. Describing when things happen. Pizza poem. And 手すみませんでした. To say I hope, I wish.
For someone else. Use the short form, whether it's of a verb or whatever, and といいですね or といいね, you can drop the this to make it more casual. So what this literally means is it's good if this happens. Short form といいね, it would be good if that thing happens. So this と particle is if. It would be good if something happened. But the usage
for others
makes it translate like I hope or I wish for something to happen for someone else. To say that you hope for something to happen to you, you use といいんですが or といい
short form plus といいですね short form plus といいね okay といいですね is the same as といいね but more polite
for someone else.
For someone else. I hope for someone else. So I hope for someone else is short form. Short form plus といいですね。ですね。or short form plus といいねといいね
Say that
It's my pleasure to be here, bro. I want to see you succeed. Of course, we will reach day 1000 together. And maybe day 1000, on day 1000, I will be in Japan making a video or making live stream learning Japanese there. So maybe we speak with someone there. This is how I imagine it. Yeah, maybe we speak Japanese together also.
Hope for something to happen to you, you use といい
So we just keep going strong until we reach 1000 days. I don't want to die just to experience the day 1000.
ですが
Sensei week, we will reach day 1000.
or といいんだけど for the slightly less polite word.
But I hope for myself. Facts week. So I hope for myself is different. I hope for myself. Short form plus to in desu ga. It's the same but with the n. Short form plus to i desu ga. Okay. To in desu ga. And short form plus to i だけどだけど
version.
Okay, again.
Makes it translate like I hope or I wish for something to happen for someone else. To say that you hope for something to happen to you,
ですが
you use といんですが or といんだけど for the slightly less polite version, along with a short form. Whether it's verbs or adjectives, we'll get there. The reason for that is it's kind of presumptive to say it would be good for a thing to happen to you. It's too direct for Japanese people. So いいんですが is like, it would be good if this happened, but I
yeah,
doubt
that's why
it
there is
will.
ga.
It adds some sort of doubt to it and makes it a little less. It takes off some of that straightforwardness to it. And that's very important when speaking Japanese. So when you're talking about a hope for something happening to yourself, といいんだけど or といいんですが. So let's go ahead and look at some examples to see what I mean.
楽しいといいですね
So the reason I only had short form and not short form verbs only is because you can use this with adjectives and other things as well. So for example, 楽しいといいですね. I hope it's fun
いいですね
for you. You wouldn't be talking about it for yourself. If someone says, what are you doing this weekend? And you say, oh, I'm going to a party. And they say, oh, nice. You can't say, 楽しいといいですね. It just sounds not good. To say that you hope it's fun when you're talking about yourself. It just feels weird. I don't know if it's necessarily grammatically incorrect, but it's too presumptive and nobody... Not too presumptive. What am I looking for? It's too direct. Japanese people would never say this. Instead, you would say something like, 楽しいといいんだけど. That's what you would say.
といいんだけど
Our other sentence is 僕だといいんですが.
僕だといいんですが
I wanted to use this make this sentence. I'll do a more detailed version down below, but I wanted to show you that you can use it with nouns as well. You just need だ. 僕だといいんですが. I hope it's me, but 行けるといいんだけど. 行けるといいんだけど. I hope I can go. Now the reason for this sentence is I wanted to point out the fact that you cannot use this construction of to hope with just straight up actions, like things that the person you're speaking to can just do themselves, like go to a place. 行くといいんだけど. You can't say that. 行くといいですね. Can't say it. 行くといいんだけど. Can't say it. Because you can just go. You can do it. So you don't have to hope for it. What you need to do in those situations is you have to say you hope they can go. So you change the verb to the potential form. 行けるといいんだけど. So you also couldn't say something. You couldn't say 食べるといいんだけど. That's not what you can't say that.
食べられる
You could say 食べれる or 食べられるといいんだけど. I hope I can eat. So you need to use potential verbs.
Not I hope I eat. Even in English, it's not doesn't make sense. I hope I eat or I hope I go. Maybe it makes, or I hope I can go. Yeah, it doesn't make sense
Construction,
in English
if it's something that a person does, if it's an active verb, right? If it's just something happening to them, like I'll show you in some later examples, I hope. Like if you hope it rains. 雨が降るといいんだけど. You don't need the potential for that, because raining just happens, right? It just rains. So you can just use the straight up verbs for that. So things that just happen to people or that just happen in general, you can use those verbs alone, but if it's an action that the person does, you need to change it to the potential form. That's all. Okay, so some more examples, more
When
complicated.
you do something,
次の
just
次の
can
休み
do
は
something.
楽しいといいですね. I hope the next vacation is
いい
fun
ですね。
for you. It's implied that we're talking to someone else here because I did not use んですが。まるちゃんが誰かが好きと言いました。僕だといいんだけど。Maru said she likes someone. I hope it's me, but... So I don't know who Maru-chan is, but she said she likes someone and the person speaking hopes it's them. パーティーに行けるといいんだけど、今週とっても忙しい。I hope I can go to the party, but I'm really busy this week. I use that
Wait,
けど
again, I
忙しい。I
I
hope I
didn't pay attention.
といいんだ。because the next vacation is fun. 次の休みは楽しいといいですね。I hope the next vacation is fun
For you.
for you. It's implied that we're talking to someone else
楽しい
here
で
because
すね。
I did not use んですが。まるちゃんが誰かが好きと言いました。
いました。
僕だといいんだけど、
いいんだけど。
Maru said she likes someone. I hope it's me, but... So I don't know who Maru-chan is, but she said she likes someone and the person speaking hopes it's them. パーティーに行けるといいんだけど、今週とっても忙しい。I hope I can go to the party, but I'm really busy this week. I use that けど to actually connect to another sentence. It implied this sentence without it. So this construction implies a reason for why that thing might not happen to you. But you don't actually have to say it. It can just be パーティーに行けるといいんだけど. And the reason it's so presumptive is because you're implying that it might not be possible. Whereas with this, you're not suggesting that it might not be possible. You're just saying you really hope it happens. But if you're talking about yourself, you have to be suggesting that it might not happen. It's fine. All right. Let's go over the dialogue. I'll read it once slowly. Once at full speed, we'll go over the English translation. I'll show you the question for this section, and I'll get to your questions in chat. All right, here we go. Shacho is talking. We're talking to
ありがと
Shacho.
うございます。
はい。ありがとうございます。早くできるといいですね。Click. 大丈夫ですか？大丈夫だよ。本当に早くできるといいね。
いいね。
最近遅いんだよ。
遅いんだよ。
そうですね
そ。うですね。
週末、台風が来ないといいんだけど、そうだといいですね。
いいですね。
Full speed. はい、ありがとうございます。早くできるといいですね。Click.
大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫ですか？大丈夫だよ。本当に早くできるといいね。最近遅いんだよ。そうですね。
そうですね。
週末台風が来ないといいんだけど、そうだといいですね。
そうだといいですね。
Alright, let's go over the English. はい、ありがとうございます。早くできるといいですね。
いいですね。
Excuse me, yep, thank you very much. I hope you can get it finished quickly. You're hoping that the company that he's calling the printing company, yeah? He's hoping they can finish quickly. And he's hoping that it happens for them, that they can finish quickly. 早くできるといいですね。大丈夫ですか？ Is everything okay?
大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫だよ。
大丈夫だよ。
本当に早くできるといいね。I really hope they can get it done. 最近遅いんだよ。Recently, they're really slow. そうですね。I see. 週末、台風が来ないといいんだけど。I hope the typhoon doesn't come this weekend, but it's probably gonna. そうだといいですね。I hope so too. For Shacho's sake, not necessarily for my sake. That's it, guys. What is something good that you hope happens for yourself soon? What is something good that you hope?
日本語に行けるといいんだけど、日本語に行けるといいんだけど、
happens for yourself
I
soon.
can go
Please use
ikeru,
いいん
potential
だけど or いいんですが either way is fine. Something good that happens for yourself. For me, 雪がたくさん降るといいんだけど I hope that lots of snow falls soon. Not necessarily in town, in the mountains. Actually, it's already snowed quite a bit in the mountains nearby us. Our next section is describing when something happens. This is the longest section of any section, I think. I know for a fact up to this point in Genki, it's the longest section of any section in the book. I think it might be the longest section from here on out too. I don't think there's a section
Yeah,
in the book that's this
Toki was a lot of explanation. I remember it was very confusing.
long. Any section. Any. There's
things
extremely
happen.
complicated sections in here, but I don't think any of them are 3 pages long. This section is 3 pages long.
It was the longest.
I don't think
yeah.
that's necessary. I don't think it's that complicated.
It complicated me. It confused me a lot. Toki, even though I thought because I knew Toki before I did it, I read it in Genki, and I thought it was simple. Toki when, but when I read the Genki, it was very confusing when things happen. Hopefully, he can clear things up. Things happen. So Toki just means when. And I remember when Onyaman, I was doing an exercise with Onyaman, I wrote Toki, Toki. And from that on, I remember I learned that Toki means when.
I think they went into a lot of
Kodomo no Toki, Kodomo no Toki. I remember that. I will never forget Kodomo no Toki when I was a child.
extra detail that wasn't necessary. It is complicated in a sense that it's a little bit confusing, a little bit. And it still might be a little bit confusing after we go through it tonight. But I'm not sure that it needs 3 full pages. I'll just point that out. There's a lot of extra unnecessary stuff there. But
Toki, Toki, let's write the kanji for Toki. Toki, cross with something. So it's tsuchi, tsuchi, earth, with something else, with G. One line between, okay. Oh, perfect key, perfect Toki. That's main event. Main event. I wrote the most perfect Toki. Yes, Toki means when. But when we read it, I think Yuki, you were with me. When we read it in Genki the last time, it was very long. It was very confusing. It had a lot of stuff, a lot of information.
I'll try and make it as simple as I can. And to just be fair, the chapter in Genki isn't that bad. It's not bad. If you read it, you should be able to understand it. But
Yeah, I didn't
it is a
understand.
lot.
I didn't understand.
But don't let that fool you into thinking it's super, super difficult. It's not the most difficult
I had to read it 3 times and I still was confused.
section in the book. It's probably not even the most difficult section in this chapter. They just cover a lot of different usages of it. Whereas Genki would usually just cover a single usage, they've decided to cover almost all of them here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. That is when things happen in Japanese. And that is with the word or the marker toki, which means at time or when. So you use this to mark an event. And by that I mean, here's an event that happened or will happen or is going to happen. And when you mark it with toki, it means at that time.
Kodomo no atatakai toki wa when it's warm, boshi or maozi in Chinese. It's the same. Boshi o kaburimashou. Kaburimashou to wear. Let's wear. We should put on the hat when it's hot. Atatakai toki wa boshi o kaburimashou.
At the time of this, the main event. So at this time, in this point in time, whatever that is, this main event is going to happen. So for verbs, you'll take the short present or past. That's it. Short present or past. That's all. For e-adjectives on their own plus toki. Na-adjectives plus na toki. Nouns, noun plus no plus toki. So noun, no toki. Let's look at some examples so you can see that in usage. No plus toki.
Na-adjective is noun. Na-adjective is na. Is adjective is the adjective plus na plus toki.
So noun, no
Nouns.
toki.
Nouns is noun plus no, of course. No requires a no. No plus toki. Okay.
Let's look at some examples so you can see that in usage. So, in the
Ikutoki.
present tense of a verb, if the verb is in the
When I
present
go-
tense,
when
that
I
means
go-
that this event is either at the same time as the main event or before it. The main event is pizza wo tabemasu.
wo
I
tabemasu.
eat pizza, or I will eat pizza. So event A is in the present tense. That means it's at the same time as I eat pizza or before I eat pizza, because it's
way,
in the
the-
present tense. So
the lesson
iku toki
starts.
pizza o tabemasu. When I go, I eat pizza. It can also be a habitual thing with the present tense and the present tense.
雨の時は傘を差しましょう。雨の時は傘を差しましょう。By the way, the class has started. Yeah, I don't have the phone with me. I require a phone. Okay, anyways.
It's two present tenses together. Iku toki pizza o tabemasu. When I go, I eat pizza. It can also be a habitual thing with the present tense and the present tense. Two present tenses together. Iku toki pizza o tabemasu. When I go, I eat pizza. It can also be a habitual thing with the present tense and the present tense. Two present tenses together can indicate a habit. Iku toki pizza o tabemasu. So every time I go, I eat pizza, is what this could indicate.
Holding. Ah, that's what sasho means. Sasu means to shine, to be visible, to be thanked. But kasa o sasu means to hold an umbrella. Okay. Kasa o sasu. Holding. So, ame no toki wa kasa o sashimashou.
It's going to be depending on
Let's hold
context
an
or whatever
umbrella.
comes before it. We'll get into some more complicated examples. But it could also mean iku toki pizza o tabemasu. When I go, I'll eat pizza. I've translated here as habitual. When I go, I eat pizza. Our next sentence is iku toki pizza o tabemashita. So now the main event is in the past tense. So
When I was going,
that means
I
it
ate
happened in the
pizza.
past. It doesn't matter that this is in the present tense. You don't need to change it just because the event was in the past. What this indicates is that the going either happened at the same time as you ate the pizza or happened before it.
Oh my God, bothering
That's
me
why
so
this is in the
much
present
today.
tense.
I cannot focus. You're studying too late when, and it's difficult to study. tomorrow, because I will work at night, I'll have to start earlier. So hopefully tomorrow we study early.
Okay?
But yeah, it's difficult. It's muzukashi.
So the whole sequence of
we are
events is
done.
in the past.
We're almost done. Only 15 minutes. 15 minutes left.
Because the final sentence, the main event, is in the past tense.
Full
So pizza o
coverage.
tabemashita. So now we know it happened in the past. But it was when I was going.
Toki pizza
Or
o
before I was going. One or the other. When I
tabemashita.
was going, I ate pizza. As in, for example, like when I was going to Japan, I got a visa. That's one of their examples. That means it was before I had gone. So in English, you would say, when I was going to go to Japan, I got a visa. That sentence, right? The going to Japan thing is in the future.
Is
Got a visa. That's what.
visa? I thought he was talking about the pizza.
As in, for example,
Wait,
like
it's pizza or visa?
when I was going to Japan, I ate pizza.
Oh, pizza.
As in, for example, like when I was going to Japan,
okay.
I got a visa. That's one of their examples. That means it was before I had gone. So in English, you would say, when I was going to go to Japan, I got a visa. That sentence, right? The going to Japan thing is in the future. It hasn't happened yet. When I was going to Japan. That's in the future. And I bought a visa. In this case, I ate pizza. So the going is either in the future or happening now. And then I ate pizza. All right, with e-adjectives, and we've got some e-adjectives, an adjective and a noun here. Kanashii toki pizza o tabemasu. So often when you just use an adjective on
When
its
I'm
own, it's
sad,
like a
I
habitual
eat
type of thing. So
pizza.
when I'm sad, I eat pizza. 悲しい時、
悲しい時
ピザを食べます。
ピザを
So this
食べ
is
ます
probably at the same time. 元気な時、ピザを食べます。
元気な時、ピザを食べ
Same
ます。
with non-adjectives. When I'm energetic, I eat
When I'm
pizza. So this is
energetic.
more of a habitual thing. When this, then that. 病気の時、ピザを食べます。When I'm sick, I eat pizza. So this is also sort of a when this, then that type of thing.
病気の時
So when the verb is in
ピザを
the
食べま
past
した。
tense, now that the main event happens after. So if we think of this as event A and this is the main event A is finished. It's done when this happens. So 行った時、ピザを食べ
ピザを
ます。
食べます。When I've
When
gone,
I've gone, when I'm already there, I'll eat pizza. 行った時、ピザを食べます。When I've already gone,
ピ
I
ザ
will
を
eat
食べ
pizza.
ます。
行った時、ピザを食べました。
ピザを食べました。
When I went, as in when I was already there, I ate pizza. When I went and was already there, I ate pizza. So this is it's finished. It's already
I get pizza. Is the same word. Is the same word.
when I went and was already there,
Pizza,
I ate pizza. So
I'm
this is
confused.
it's finished. It's already happened.
Pizza with
So here's
visa.
this happened before this. That's all. When it's present tense, if we look up here, this happens at the same time or after the main event. So it's in the future or at the same time. In this case, it's already happened.
行った時。
Okay? So it's in the past of this main event. So I've already gone. 行った時ピザを食べました。
ピザを
When I
食
was
べ
then
ました。
went and already there, I ate pizza. 悲しかった時ピザを食べました。So
悲し
when
か
I
った
was
時
sad, I ate pizza.
ピザを食べま
So
した。
now it's in the past of this. Yeah, 元気だった時
元気だった時
ピザを食べました。
ピザ
So
を食べ
when
ま
I
した。
was energetic, I ate pizza. 病気だった時
病気だった時
ピザを食べました。When I was sick, I ate pizza.
It's simple.
ピザを食べている時幸せ。
時間the visa was this 時間時ゲームをしていて日本語を勉強している when it's time to play game when it's time to play the game 日本語を勉強している when it's time you play game we start study I apologize but now we are going to read the pizza poem
せだ。You can also use
now we're going to do pizza poem
the ている form actually.
the visa was delicious now this pizza will unlock a lot of new
So when
places
when
I can
something
go.
happens during an event, so if it's a long
ピザを
ongoing event, so while I was
食べている
eating something
時
happened, you can use it like that. So 食べている
幸せだ。
時友達が来た My friend showed up while I was eating. So you can use ている in that case. In this case, I've said life is good when I'm eating pizza. ピザを食べている時幸せだ。So what you didn't realize there, or maybe you did realize, is we basically have a pizza poem. 行く
so wait so 行く時 when I go
時
Okay, let's
ピザを
listen to
食べます。行く時ピザを食べました。
時ピザを食べま
悲
した
しい時ピザを食べます。元気な時ピザを食べます。病気の時
病気の時
ピザを食べます。行った時ピザを食べます。行った時ピザを食べました。悲しかった時ピザを食べました。元気だった時ピザを食べました。病気だった時ピザを食べました。ピザを食べている時幸せだ。
幸せだ
Thank you very much.
A pizza poem probably should be 時間をあるときゲームをしていて日本語を勉強している So when it's time you play games we study I apologize Cofelio we just have to 日本時間があるとき when I have time I playing games and studying Japanese so basically Toki now I understand Toki Yuki, right. 時間があるとき。So, あるとき, we have three. Basically, now I understand とき. We have ある, like Yuki said here, あるとき, okay? 行くとき. So,
Time as you ate the
it's the short form present. So, the action that when I go happens before eating the pizza, okay? And also we have past tense 行ったとき, which happens after the event of pizza を食べます, of eating pizza. So I went and then ate pizza. And also we have 知っている、食べている. So while, like Cofelio said here, while when I have time, I am playing games. So ている。時間があるとき、ゲームをしていて、日本語を勉強している。Okay, I understand. So 3 uses of toki. Now it's more clear. So basically it's just tenses. Past tense, present tense, past tense, and continuous. ている。
one time. Full
Easy.
speed. We'll go over the English translation. I'll get to the question, and then I'll answer any of your questions.
I understand toki now. So just 3 tenses.
ありがとうね。いいよ。社長は電話したとき、カラーのチラシを頼んだ？え？頼まなかったよ。そうか。次会うとき頼んでくれる？はい、full speed。ありがとうね。いいよ。社長は電話したとき、カラーのチラシを頼んだ？え？頼まなかったよ。そうか。次会うとき頼んでくれる？
So, ありがとう、thank you, いいよ、of course. 社長は電話したとき、when the president called, okay. 辛いのチラを頼んだ。Did you request? I think, not sure. 頼まなかったよ。Yes, I requested. そうか? Yeah, I don't understand.
怒ってる。By the way, when Japanese people are mad, they go like this. They puff out their lips, especially when they're mad at their kids. That means a Japanese person's mad. If someone does that at you, you are in trouble. You're in trouble. That's what that means. ありがとうね。Hey, thanks. いいよ。No problem. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. 社長は電話したとき。So, he's already called. He's called them. カラーのチラシを頼んだ。So, he's called. That means he's on the phone already. It's in the past tense, right? So, that's in the past. カラーのチラシを頼んだ。Did he request color pamphlets? え？頼まなかったよ。What? No, he didn't. He didn't. そうか。次会うとき頼んでくれる。So here we've got the event. The thing is in the future. So next time you meet him in the future, 頼んでくれる。Would you ask him to do it?
Pamphlet. Let's look it up. I've seen it so many times and I still don't know what pamphlet is. Pamphlet. Okay. Pamphlet is leaflet. Pamphlet, like leaflet. So, a company.
Pamphlet.
A small booklet or leaflet containing information. So it's like advertisement or something. Like these are now pamphlet. Okay.
Seriously, this person asked me to do so many things for them. What are they going to do for me? The question for this section is...
Sometimes the English, you have to know the English in order to know. Color pamphlet. Did he request color pamphlets? No. 頼まなかったよ。He didn't. そうか。
The event, the thing is in the future. 時。
I hate when they using katakana word color Kara, yeah, it's kara when they could use iro. Sometimes they use a lot of katakana when it's not needed, or I am mistaken something. No idea. Maybe it's colorful, color pamphlet. Maybe iro means something else. Let's Yuki explain it to us. So indeed, yeah, they have the iro. There is iro kanji. Iro no,
Pamphlets.
and they use kara. Let's let Yuki decide.
次会うとき頼んでくれる So here we've got the event, the
Yes, for example, we'll have elections in Germany soon. So there is a lot of pamphlets of different parties in your mailbox, of course. Yeah, that's that's annoying. What shall I decide? The color. Why is it kara here and not iro? Like, shouldn't it be iro no chirashi? Why they use kara no chirashi? Like they use kitchen or something like that, and daidokoro kitchen. They have the word for kitchen and they use kitchen. And it's not only that it's not good, not nice, but also it's sad. Why they don't use the native words? Why do they have to use foreign words, you know? I'm trying to learn the language. Why do you use the language I already know? I'm making English katakana words for words that are in Japanese. Because Japanese like to use a lot of anglicisms. So they like to use it. Probably because it's cool. Maybe. But for me, the cooler is when you use your native language. It's not cool to use foreign, you know? You already have the words.
頼まなかったよ What? No, he didn't.
Because for them, English is exotic and it's cool to use it. Okay, Cofelio guessed it right. So English is more cooler. Probably, yeah, that's why.
次会う
They feel more, when you speak English, maybe they feel more high class. Because they went occupied by the USA in such an intensity and for a long time.
とき頼んで
Maybe
く
that's
れる
that's also a reason. Of course.
So here we've got the event. The thing is in the future. So next time you meet him in the future, 頼んでくれる Would you ask him to do it?
次会うとき next time when you meet.
Seriously, this person asked me to do so many things for them. What are they going to do for me? The question for this section is,
You know that they were so close to switch to French as national language at the beginning of the Meiji era. No. Maybe it would have been easier for us. The Meiji era was in 1868 to 1912. Okay, Meiji era, before the World War. French language. French. Okay. It would have been easier for us. The major. Okay, so but the native language is better. So happy that they did not done it. I cannot speak French at all, but you can speak Japanese.
what is something you do when
I don't like when they change languages, you know, when they input foreign words. It's better to use your own words.
sad? For me, 悲しい時ピザを食べます Let's get to work on apologizing for specific actions. This section is quite simple despite this mess of a slide, but
Where's the pen? I lost my
apologizing for
pen.
things
There's
you've
the pen.
done is a very useful skill to have. So we already have the skill of saying, I'm sorry. But as you get older, I'm sorry by itself is not necessarily enough to express your sorrow. So you got to be able to say, I'm sorry for doing such and such a thing. That's a much better apology. When you're specific
Apologizing
about the things that you're sorry for,
Things
it's better. To do that in Japanese, you take the te form
you've
and add sumimasen deshita. A slightly less polite, but not
form plus-
unpolite, but just
So these are all, again, other uses of the te form, Sensei Vic. So te form plus sumimasen deshita, te form plus gomen nasai. The other one was, no, it was Toki. Sumimasen plus gomen, sumimasen plus sumimasen deshita, things you didn't do. Gomen nasai, and
just
so
a
on.
slightly lower level of politeness version of that would be te gomen nasai. And then the least
gomen.
polite version would be te gomen. This is something you might use if it's not like something you've done seriously wrong. It's just like, well, maybe it is. It could be, but it's for people in your in-group. So when I say that, I mean people like really, really close friends or your immediate family, stuff like that. Then you might just say, sore tabete gomen.
I remember that.
I'm sorry
It was
I ate that
easy,
thing.
yeah.
You can also use this for things that you did not do. You just use the negative te form plus sumimasen deshita, the negative te form plus gomen nasai, the negative te form plus gomen, and that means I'm sorry I didn't do such and such a thing. So let's look at some examples of that.
Okay.
Tabete sumimasen deshita. I'm so sorry that I ate it. Tabete gomen nasai. I'm sorry that I ate it. Tabete gomen. Sorry I ate it.
Tabete sumimasen deshita. I'm sorry that I ate it. Tabete gomen nasai. I'm sorry that I ate it. Tabeta gomen.
That basically expresses the
sorry,
level
I
of
ate it.
politeness going down, down, down into fairly casual.
Yeah,
Sorry, ate
I
it.
remember that.
But it can really,
Easy.
like, if it's with tone, can be very important. Like, if it's someone close to you, tabete gomen,
Tabete gomen.
right? That sounds like you're sorry. Tone is very important in these situations. Some examples of a negative, or a more complicated example, is pizza o tabete sumimasen deshita. Someone was thinking about pizza or was very tired. I'm not sure which.
Whoever suggests that a language should go extinct for their own convenience or personal gain, of course, should be put in prison. Of course, language is very important, and it's more beautiful to use the own language, your own language, and not input like foreign words. Change. You don't change the language. The language has to be native. It's prettier, it's more beautiful. Spanish, I guess, is Catalan. The Catalan language. Oh, of course, there is also Catalan language. So they want to change. Wait, I don't know much about the Catalan, but many Spanish people hate Catalan. Sometimes they just using nasai, like tabete nasai.
I'm so
Tabete nasai. The gomen nasai, tabete nasai. Yeah, I've seen it sometimes. Tabete nasai.
I'm so sorry that I ate it.
Without te form,
Tabete
though. Without te-
mimasen deshita. I'm so sorry that I ate it.
I will have now. Just finish this one and
Tabete gomen nasai.
go.
I'm sorry
I
that I
recall
ate
that
it.
you were saying, yeah, I just finished this one and leave. So 5 more minutes, less than 5 minutes.
Tabete gomen. Sorry I ate it. That basically expresses the level of politeness going in these situations. Some examples of a negative, or a more
7.5,
complicated
it's
example,
already
is
7.5.
pizza o tabete
Pizza o
sumimasen
tabete
deshita.
sumimasen
Someone was
deshita.
thinking about pizza, or was very tired, I'm not sure which. I'm so sorry that I ate the pizza. Pizza o tabete gomen nasai. I'm sorry that I ate the pizza. Pizza o tabete gomen. Just pointing out that the particles you're going to use are the same that you would use in any situation where you use this verb. So the thing you ate
Pizza
will
o
be marked,
tabete
as always,
gomen.
by wo.
Hey, the class is
Changing that
already
to
recorded.
negative, so I'm sorry I didn't. Pizza o kawanakute sumimasen deshita. I'm so sorry that I didn't buy pizza. Pizza o kawanakute. So for those of you who forget the negative te form, or as I like to call it, the negative te form, you when you make a casual negative verb, you turn it into, for example, kao becomes kawanai. You treat it
Kawanakute.
basically like an e adjective. It's very much like an e-adjective, the negative of verbs, the short form negative. So what you do to make the te form of a negative is you cut the e and add kute, just like you would with an adjective, an e-adjective. So 買わなくてすみませんでした。I'm so sorry that I didn't buy pizza. ピザを買わなくてごめんなさい。I'm sorry that I didn't buy pizza. ピザを買わなくてごめん。Sorry I didn't buy pizza. ピザを買わなくて本当にすみませんでした。So this is important. This is not in Genki. But when you're really sorry for doing something, you gotta use 本当に。何々買わなくて本当にすみませんでした。I'm truly sorry that I didn't do that thing. And you could use it as positive as well. 食べて本当にすみませんでした。You'd put that in between the te and the すみませんでした。本当にごめんなさい。When you're really sorry for just anything, you don't necessarily need the te form either. Just use 本当に to really drive that home that you're sorry. We'll read the dialogue slowly once.
Last dialogue and done.
遅くなってすみませんでした。大丈夫だよ。
電話するね。
電話するね。ピピピピピピピピピピ。さっき電話したとき、チラシを頼みましたよね。そのチラシはカラーで作ってくれませんか？その時頼まなくてごめんなさいね。すみませんでした。I should have said 本当にすみませんでした。Full speed. 遅くなってすみませんでした。大丈夫だよ。電話するね。さっき電話した時チラシを頼みましたよね。そのチラシはカラーで作ってくれませんか？その時頼まなくてごめんなさいね。クリック。本当にすみませんでした。Let's go over the English. So what happens here is I've already told Shacho that I needed him to actually order the chirashi or the pamphlets in color. So I've already told him off screen. So now I'm apologizing that I'm late. I'm sorry I didn't tell him earlier, basically. Saying I'm late. 遅くなってすみませんでした。I'm sorry I was late in telling you. 大丈夫だよ。It's fine. 電話するね。I'll call, okay? さっき. This is new. This doesn't show up in Genki. I don't know why. It's very useful. It means earlier. Just before. So it's the same day. So you would say さっき.
When I called you
if you wanted
earlier.
to say the day before, if it was the day before, 昨日電話した時, for example. 前 would also be fine, but さっき earlier. 電話した時. So here's our した時. This is already in the past. チラシを頼みましたよね。I asked for, I requested pamphlets, right? よね when you combine those, it means right? そのチラシはカラーで作ってくれませんか？ Would it be possible for you to make those in color? その時頼まなくてごめんなさいね。Sorry I didn't ask for it at that time. その時 is sort of a phrase on its own. So you don't need to put no in between it or anything. その時頼まなくてごめんなさいね。すみませんでした。I'm so sorry.
Done.
The question for this section is not a question. I want you to apologize for doing whatever this is. How dare you? How dare you do this? Apologize right now. Here's another one. This is you. Apologize. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine what this guy should be apologizing to you for. It's something he does every morning. There's a correct answer to this one. What should this guy be apologizing to you for? Pretend you're him and apologize. So, with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen...
I don't know how to translate. But anyways, done with the sentence, done with the lesson. So, 7 more lessons, 1 week. Next Tuesday, we finish. Okay, I'm going to study. Have a great class. I will go to class now. Thank you very much. Mata ashita. Mata ashita. And yeah, of course, 明日、again, また明日。Non-stop. 読めたいで、or やめたいで or something. Thank you very much, Yuki. Cofelio, thank you very much. And Sensei Vic, also thank you. And also Benzerka is here. So yeah, また明日, of course. Bye bye.